A mysterious frontier. In the distant reaches of the galaxy, a desolate planet known as Deadworld lay shrouded in mystery and danger. For centuries, this ominous sphere had been marked on star maps with warnings and whispers of peril. Yet, it was precisely this reputation that drew the attention of the most audacious explorers among the stars. The spacecraft Pioneer cut through the void with precision, its gleaming hull a testament to human ingenuity and curiosity. As it descended through the swirling dust storms that perpetually enshrouded Deadworld, the crew prepared for an extraordinary mission. They were a diverse group of engineers and scientists, each selected for their expertise and ability to thrive under extreme conditions. Among them were Dr. Lena Marks, a seasoned astrobiologist with a fascination for extreme ecosystems, and engineer Tom Reyes, whose innovations in robotics had saved many missions from disaster. The landing was smooth, a testament to human technology and the skill of pilot Maya Chin, who maneuvered the Pioneer with practiced ease. Once landed, the silence of Deadworld enveloped them, a silence so profound it seemed to absorb sound. Captain John Harrow's voice crackled over the comms, breaking the quiet. "Let's get to setting up base. Remember, every protocol we train for back home applies here. Stay sharp." The crew quickly assembled a prefabricated base, a stark structure of panels and shields that stood out against the barren landscape, a beacon of human presence on this seemingly uninhabited world. With the base set up, Dr. Marks and Engineer Reyes led a small team to commence their initial exploration. The surface of Deadworld was a drab tapestry of grays and browns, covered in fine dust that clung to their suits. As they ventured further, Dr. Marks noticed something peculiar, a faint hint of bioluminescence emanating from beneath a cluster of rocks. "Look at this," she called over to Reyes, her voice tinged with excitement. Reyes joined her, his eyes widening behind his visor as he saw the faint glow. Using his robotic tools, Reyes carefully uncovered more of the area. What they found was astonishing. A network of fungal-like growths pulsating gently with light. This was life, undeniable and thriving in what was thought to be a barren wasteland. This could change everything we thought we knew about Deadworld, Dr. Marks speculated, collecting samples with care. As they documented their find, the ground beneath them trembled slightly, subtle but unmistakable. Reyes checked his instruments. "Seismic activity. It's minor, but let's not take chances." With samples in hand, they made their way back to the base, their minds buzzing with the possibilities of their discovery. As they approached, Maya greeted them with a cautious smile. "Find anything interesting out there?" she asked. "More than interesting," Lena replied, her eyes alight with the thrill of discovery. "We found life." The news spread rapidly among the crew, and that evening, as they gathered in the base's main module, the atmosphere was electric with excitement. However, their celebration was cut short when the base's perimeter alarms blared to life. Captain Harrow rushed to the monitor, his heart pounding. The camera feeds showed shadows moving with eerie grace around the edges of their light. "Looks like we're not the only ones interested in the life here," John murmured. The team looked on, a mix of curiosity and caution in their eyes. "We need to be careful. We don't know what we're dealing with yet," Maya said. The figures in the dust faded as quickly as they had appeared, leaving behind 1,000 questions. Were these denizens of Deadworld curious or hostile? The unknowns were daunting, but if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was facing the unknown head-on. As the crew settled down for the night, with watches set and minds racing, the story of Deadworld was just beginning to unfold. Far from being a dead planet, it seemed to pulse with hidden life and secrets waiting to be uncovered. For the humans of the Pioneer, their mission had just taken a turn into the unknown, promising new wonders and perhaps new dangers. Encounters in the dark. As dawn broke over the barren landscape of Deadworld, the human crew of the Pioneer was already busy. Dr. Lena Marks and engineer Tom Reyes, buoyed by their previous day's discovery of bioluminescent life forms, were setting up more sensitive equipment to further their studies. The excitement among the crew was palpable, a buzz of energy that seemed almost out of place on such a desolate planet. But the true nature of Deadworld was about to reveal itself in ways none of the crew could have anticipated. Just as the sun crested the jagged horizon, casting long shadows over the dusty plains, a subtle shift occurred. The ground, seemingly inert, began to stir beneath the thin crust. Figures started to emerge slowly and cautiously, as if awakening from a long slumber. The denizens of Deadworld, cloaked in scales that shimmered like the rocks around them, stood upright, their eyes reflecting the new light. The humans, observing this unexpected revelation, held their breath. Dr. Marks signaled for everyone to remain calm and non-threatening. The creatures, numbering around a dozen, were unlike any life forms recorded in human expeditions. They were tall and thin, with limbs that twisted in unusual angles suited to navigating their rugged environment. The leader of the denizens, a figure slightly taller and adorned with bright, colorful patterns that seemed to signify status, stepped forward. It performed a series of gestures that were both alien and oddly expressive. Lena, ever the diplomat, mirrored the gesture as best she could, her movements slow and deliberate. As this silent exchange took place, Reyes took the opportunity to observe and record. He noted how the denizens' skin changed colors subtly with their movements, possibly a form of camouflage or emotional expression. Their eyes were large and multifaceted, giving nothing away of their thoughts. Yet their cautious approach spoke volumes about their intelligence and awareness. The denizens led the humans away from the landing site to what appeared to be a nearby settlement. This was no primitive camp, but a network of structures ingeniously built into the rock formations. Utilizing natural caves, augmented with some form of bioengineered material that hardened like cement, the design was perfectly adapted to the harsh environment of Deadworld. It offered protection against the planet's frequent dust storms and temperature extremes. Inside the settlement, the humans were shown the complexities of denizen society. The denizens were hunters and gatherers on a planet that offered little bounty. Their tools were crafted from the bones of subterranean creatures and the few hardy plants that could survive in such a harsh climate. Yet, there was a deep spiritual aspect to their culture, evident in the murals painted on the cave walls depicting scenes of communal harmony and survival against great odds. Dr. Marks, through a combination of gestures and simple drawings in the dust, asked about their survival tactics. The denizens seemed eager to share, demonstrating their methods of collecting moisture from plants and filtering it through sand to create drinkable water. They showed the humans their main source of nutrition, a fungus that grew beneath the planet's surface, cultivated in controlled environments to sustain their population. As the day wore on, Captain John Harrow, observing all interactions, decided that their mission parameters had just expanded. The potential for peaceful engagement and mutual exchange of knowledge was too significant to ignore. He convened a quick meeting with his crew. "We have an opportunity here," John stated, looking around at his team, each member dirty yet glowing with the thrill of first contact. These denizens survived on Deadworld through innovation and sheer will. There's much we can learn from them, and perhaps much we can offer in return. The crew nodded in agreement. The decision was unanimous. They would proceed with respect and caution, aiming to build a bridge between human ingenuity and denizen resilience. By the time the humans returned to their base, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. The denizens watched them leave, their expressions unreadable, but their posture less tense than that morning. It was a small but hopeful beginning. That night, as the humans gathered for their evening meal, they discussed the day's events with a mix of excitement and solemnity. They were far from home on a planet that was anything but welcoming, yet they had found not just life, but a complex, thriving society. "It's like we stumbled upon a hidden world," Lena mused, her voice soft. "Today, we didn't just find alien life, we met our neighbors." Tom's raised his glass in a half-joking, half-serious gesture. "To neighbors," he said, and the rest joined in. "To neighbors," they echoed, their voices carrying through the thin walls of their temporary home and out into the vast, starry sky of Deadworld. In the burgeoning light of understanding between humans and the denizens of Deadworld, a new chapter unfolded, one of mutual respect and shared knowledge. The humans, with their technological prowess, and the denizens, masters of their hostile world, found common ground in their desire to survive and thrive. Building bridges. As the days turned into weeks, the relationship between the humans and the denizens of Deadworld grew stronger. Engineer Tom's Reyes worked alongside a denizen named Real, who showed a keen interest in human technology. Together, they embarked on a project that symbolized the fusion of their two worlds. Harnessing the relentless light of Deadworld's twin suns, they constructed a prototype solar collector using native materials. This was a significant development as solar energy, despite its abundance on Deadworld, had been largely ignored by its native inhabitants. Toms explained the basics of photovoltaic cells and circuits using simple diagrams etched in the sand. Real quickly grasped the concepts and suggested integrating the technology with the natural elements of Deadworld. They designed a solar collector that not only enhanced energy efficiency, but also incorporated local knowledge of geology to optimize performance. Meanwhile, Dr. Lena Marks delved into the secrets of underground farming with a group of denizen women led by Mie, the community's chief agriculturist. The cavernous farms were a marvel of biological engineering, utilizing fungal networks that purified the air and water while providing sustenance. Lena, fascinated by these methods, introduced the concept of hydroponics, growing plants in water enriched with mineral nutrients. She explained how this technique could potentially increase yield and nutritional value. The exchange of ideas was not just about survival, it became a bridge that brought the two species closer. The humans and denizens shared meals and stories, discovering the joys of unexpected bonding over shared challenges. They laughed at their miscommunications and marveled at each other's ingenuity, each day growing more comfortable and fond of their unusual neighbors. However, as often happens on the frontier of knowledge and cooperation, a new challenge loomed on the horizon. It began subtly, an increase in seismic activity barely noticeable at first, but soon impossible to ignore. The ground shook more frequently, and the air grew thick with electric tension. One evening, as Toms and Real were testing their solar collector, the ground beneath them heaved with violent force, toppling their newly erected structure. Alarms blared from the human base, signaling an urgent meeting. Captain John Harrow, with Lena and Toms at his side, convened with the denizen leaders in the communal cavern. The atmosphere was tense as both humans and denizens peered anxiously at the shaking walls around them. "It seems we are on the verge of a volcanic eruption," Lena explained, pointing to a map of Deadworld displayed on her portable monitor. "Our instruments indicate that there's a massive buildup of pressure beneath the southern plain, close to where our base is located." Real, his face etched with concern, responded in his clicking, whistling language, quickly translated by a device the humans had set up. "Our ancestors spoke of the fire that walks, a great eruption that reshaped our land many generations ago. It seems we are due for another." The meeting quickly turned to planning. It was clear that both communities would need to work together closely to survive. The denizens, with their intimate knowledge of the planet's subterranean networks, proposed relocating essential supplies and vulnerable individuals to deeper, more stable caverns they deemed safe. Toms, meanwhile, suggested using the solar collectors not just for power, but to create a warning network around the perimeter of the seismic activity. This would allow them to monitor the eruption's progress and perhaps provide early warnings. The following days were a blur of activity. Humans and denizens worked side by side, reinforcing structures, relocating supplies, and setting up seismic monitors around the danger zone. The shared sense of urgency cemented their bond, turning cooperation into a deep-seated alliance. What had started as a mission of exploration for the humans had become a fight for survival alongside creatures who were no longer just denizens of a dead world, but partners and friends. When the eruption finally came, it was with a ferocity that shook the very foundations of the planet. The ground rumbled and rolled as molten rock and ash erupted from the southern plain. The humans and denizens, well prepared for the disaster, worked together to evacuate the vulnerable and monitor the eruption's progression. Throughout the chaos, Lena and Toms continued to coordinate efforts with Real and the denizen leaders. The solar collectors, now functioning as part of the warning network, helped track the eruption's impact and provided valuable data that guided their emergency responses. The denizens, using their deep knowledge of the planet's geology, helped navigate the safest routes to and from the emergency shelters. As the eruption subsided and the dust settled, the survivors emerged from their shelters to find Deadworld forever changed. The landscape was scarred, but the cooperation between humans and denizens had proven to be a beacon of hope amidst the devastation. The bond forged in the crucible of disaster was stronger than ever, and both species had gained a deeper understanding of each other's strengths and resilience. The experience had transformed their relationship from one of mere curiosity to one of profound respect and partnership. The humans and denizens of Deadworld had not only survived a catastrophic event, but had done so together, showcasing the power of cooperation and shared ingenuity in the face of adversity. The dawn of collaboration. In the aftermath of the eruption, Deadworld was a changed place. The once familiar landscape had been reshaped by the volcanic activity, and both humans and denizens had to adapt to the new conditions. As the immediate danger subsided, the focus shifted to rebuilding and establishing a new way of life in the altered environment. Captain John Harrow convened a meeting with Lena Toms and the denizen leaders to discuss the next steps. The mood was optimistic but practical, reflecting the spirit of resilience that had emerged from the crisis. The collaboration between the two species had proven successful under duress, and now it was time to build on that foundation. "We've proven that we can overcome challenges together," John began, addressing the assembled group. "The eruption has shown us that our cooperation is not just a matter of survival, but a powerful force for progress. Let's use this momentum to explore new opportunities." Lena nodded in agreement. "Our focus will be on leveraging our combined knowledge to create sustainable solutions for the new conditions. We need to adapt our technology and integrate it with the denizens' expertise to thrive in this changed world." Toms, still energized from the recent collaboration, was eager to dive into the technical aspects. "We've seen how effective our solar collectors can be, but we need to expand on this. We should develop new energy solutions that can handle the increased volcanic activity and seismic shifts." Real, the denizen engineer who had been instrumental in the solar collector project, offered his insights. "Our people have a deep understanding of the geological changes. We can work together to design energy systems that are resilient to these fluctuations. Additionally, our bioengineering expertise can help stabilize the environment and enhance the sustainability of our resources." The team quickly set to work on their new objectives. Toms and Real collaborated on designing advanced energy systems, incorporating both human technology and denizen innovations. Their goal was to create a network of energy sources that could withstand the harsh conditions and ensure a stable supply for both communities. Lena focused on integrating the denizens' farming techniques with human agricultural methods. The new hydroponics systems were adapted to work in the changed environment, and the denizens shared their knowledge of underground fungi and water purification with Lena. Together, they developed enhanced farming methods that could support a growing population despite the harsh conditions. As the months passed, the cooperative efforts began to bear fruit. The new energy systems proved robust and reliable, providing power to the rebuilt settlements and helping to stabilize the environment. The advanced hydroponics systems and denizen farming techniques produced abundant food, ensuring that both humans and denizens had a reliable source of nutrition. The daily interactions between the two species became more routine, and the once strange customs and technologies were now integrated into their daily lives. The denizens had embraced many aspects of human culture, while humans had come to appreciate the rich traditions and knowledge of the denizens. One of the most significant achievements was the establishment of a joint research facility. This facility, built with a combination of human and denizen technology, became a hub for ongoing collaboration and innovation. Scientists from both species worked side by side, exploring new frontiers in energy, agriculture, and environmental science. The facility also served as a cultural exchange center, where humans and denizens shared their art, music, and traditions. This mutual exchange enriched both cultures and deepened the bond between them. Festivals were held to celebrate their achievements, and the once barren landscape of Deadworld was now filled with vibrant communities and shared experiences. Captain John Harrow, reflecting on the progress made, felt a deep sense of accomplishment. We've come a long way from the days of exploration and survival. What we've built here is more than just a new way of life. It's a testament to what can be achieved when different cultures come together with respect and a common purpose. Lena and Toms shared in this sentiment, proud of their contributions to the evolving world of Deadworld. They had witnessed the transformation of a hostile environment into a thriving cooperative society. Their efforts had not only ensured the survival of their respective communities, but had also paved the way for a brighter, more connected future. The denizens, too, were optimistic about the future. They had gained new friends and allies in the humans, and their own society had been strengthened by the exchange of knowledge and culture. The collaborative spirit that had emerged from the eruption had become a defining characteristic of their relationship. As Deadworld continued to evolve, the partnership between humans and denizens stood as a shining example of what could be achieved when different worlds came together. The challenges faced and overcome had forged a bond that would endure, guiding them toward a future of shared growth and discovery. The story of Deadworld was far from over, and the journey of collaboration and innovation was just beginning. The inhabitants of Deadworld, now united in their efforts, looked to the future with hope and excitement, ready to explore new horizons and face whatever challenges lay ahead. The emergence of new threats. The cooperative success on Deadworld had transformed it from a planet of isolation into a hub of shared knowledge and innovation. However, the relative calm was about to be disrupted by a new and unexpected challenge. In the midst of ongoing projects and celebrations, a series of unexplained phenomena began to surface. Strange signals, unaccounted for fluctuations in energy readings, and disturbances in the environment hinted at something unusual. The denizens and humans were intrigued, but also cautious, knowing that their recent successes made them both more vulnerable and more observant. One evening, as the sun dipped below the jagged horizon, Captain John Harrow gathered his team for an urgent briefing. "We've been receiving unusual energy spikes from one of the seismic monitoring stations," he began. "We need to investigate these anomalies immediately. They could be a sign of new geological activity, or they could be something else entirely." Lena, Toms, and Reel were quick to agree. The denizens had already displayed their keen ability to read and interpret geological patterns, so their input would be invaluable. Reel led the way to the monitoring station, with Lena and Toms closely following. Upon arrival, the team found the station's equipment in disarray, with several of the sensors offline. "It looks like someone or something has tampered with the equipment," Toms observed, examining the damaged sensors. "We need to get this repaired and analyze the signals that were recorded before the system failed." As the repairs were underway, Lena used a portable diagnostic tool to sift through the data. "These energy spikes are irregular," she noted, her brow furrowing in concentration. "They don't follow any known seismic patterns. It's almost as if there's a deliberate interference." Reel examined the readings and added his observations. "The patterns suggest that whatever is causing these spikes is actively altering the environment. It's not natural geological activity." With the repairs completed, the team was able to access the most recent data logs. The readings were even more concerning than they had anticipated. The anomalies seemed to be emanating from an underground source, a location not far from their base. Reel, Lena, and Toms decided to investigate the source of the disturbances. They ventured into the network of tunnels and caverns, following the trail of unusual energy signatures. The denizens, familiar with these subterranean networks, guided them through the labyrinthine passages. As they approached the source of the anomalies, they discovered a hidden chamber. Inside, they found an array of unfamiliar devices and technology. It was clear that this was not the work of the denizens or humans, but rather something, or someone, alien. These devices appear to be generating and manipulating energy, Lena said, examining the intricate machinery. But who could have set this up? Before they could answer their own question, a voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome to my domain." A figure emerged from the shadows, clad in a dark, form-fitting suit. It was an alien, unlike any they had encountered before. Its appearance was both sleek and menacing, with a high-tech visor obscuring its eyes. The figure's presence was imposing, and the technology it wielded was clearly advanced. The alien introduced itself as Zarek, a representative of a previously unknown interstellar faction. "I have been monitoring your activities," Zarek said with a voice that carried both authority and a hint of amusement. "You've made quite an impact on Deadworld." Captain Harris stepped forward, his voice firm. "What's the purpose of your interference? We've worked hard to build a collaborative relationship here. If you have a problem, we're willing to listen and resolve it." Zarek's expression remained inscrutable. "My purpose is not to disrupt but to observe. Deadworld's recent developments have attracted significant interest. Your progress could have implications far beyond this planet." Lena, sensing the gravity of the situation, asked, "What do you want from us?" Zarek's reply was calculated. "I seek an understanding of your technologies and the potential they represent. Deadworld's transformation is of great interest to my faction. Cooperation or competition, the choice is yours." With this cryptic declaration, Zarek deactivated the devices and retreated into the shadows, leaving the humans and denizens in stunned silence. As they returned to their base, the atmosphere was tense. "We need to analyze everything we've learned," Captain Harris said. "Zarek's presence is a reminder that our work here is drawing attention. We must be prepared for both cooperation and conflict." Lena and Toms immediately set to work examining the alien technology and the data gathered from the encounter. Their goal was to understand the nature of Zarek's interest and to ensure that their advancements remained secure. Real and the denizens also played a crucial role in assessing the potential threats. They conducted a thorough review of their own security measures and reinforced their defenses against possible incursions. The revelation of Zarek and the alien faction added a new layer of complexity to the ongoing collaboration between humans and denizens. The excitement of discovery was now tempered with caution, as both species grappled with the implications of their newfound attention. Despite the uncertainty, the shared commitment to progress and mutual respect remained strong. The recent events had strengthened their resolve to continue their work, and they were more determined than ever to face the challenges that lay ahead. As Deadworld entered this new phase, the inhabitants were united by a common purpose. They were not only exploring a hostile world, but also navigating the intricate web of interstellar politics and potential threats. The journey of collaboration was far from over, and the story of Deadworld was unfolding in ways that no one could have anticipated. Echoes of the past and future tensions. The discovery of Zarek and the alien technology had shifted the dynamics on Deadworld. The atmosphere among the humans and denizens was charged with anticipation and wariness. As the days passed, both species were keenly aware that their collaborative efforts were attracting more than just scientific interest. In the heart of the base, the human and denizen teams worked tirelessly to decode the alien technology. Lena, Toms, and Reel led the research, analyzing the intricate devices left behind by Zarek. They hoped to uncover any potential threats or opportunities hidden within the alien tech. One evening, as Lena and Toms pored over the data, Reel joined them with an urgent message. "I've discovered something unusual," Reel said, his voice laced with concern. While analyzing the alien devices, I found traces of a signal that seems to be broadcasting to an unknown location. It's possible that Zarek's faction is not acting alone. Lina's eyes widened as she processed this information. If there are others involved, it could mean we're dealing with a larger-scale situation than we initially thought. We need to figure out who they are and what their intentions might be. The team immediately set to work, using the alien technology to trace the origin of the signal. Their efforts led them to a remote and secluded area of Deadworld, one that was previously unexplored. The journey to this location was fraught with challenges, as the terrain grew increasingly rugged and the environment more hostile. Upon reaching the coordinates, they discovered the remnants of an ancient structure buried beneath the planet's surface. The design was alien but familiar, with elements that hinted at a long-lost civilization. The structure was partially intact, its walls adorned with symbols and writings that spoke of a bygone era. This must be a relic of the civilization that once inhabited Deadworld, Lina speculated as she examined the symbols. They might have had advanced technology that was lost or hidden over time. The denizens, who had been assisting in the exploration, expressed a mix of awe and trepidation. Their ancestors' stories had spoken of ancient beings and forgotten knowledge, but seeing the remnants firsthand was a profound experience. As they explored the structure, they encountered a hidden chamber filled with data storage devices. These devices, though damaged by time, held valuable information about the civilization's technology and history. Lina and Toms carefully retrieved and began to analyze the data. Meanwhile, tensions were mounting as the signal traced back to Zarek's faction indicated a possible approach. The team was on high alert, aware that their discoveries might provoke further interest or even confrontation. One night, as the base was settling down, alarms sounded, signaling an incoming transmission. Captain Harrow gathered his crew and denizen allies to discuss the unexpected development. The transmission was from Zarek, who wanted to meet. "It seems Zarek's faction has taken an interest in our findings," Harrow said, his tone serious. "We need to approach this meeting with caution. They may have their own agenda regarding the ancient structure." Lina, Tums, and Reel accompanied Harrow to the designated meeting location. Zarek greeted them with his usual enigmatic demeanor. "I see you've uncovered more than just the surface of Deadworld," he remarked. "The discovery of the ancient structure is significant." Captain Harrow addressed Zarek directly. "We need to understand your intentions. The signals we've intercepted suggest that your faction might be planning something. What are you looking for, and how does it relate to our recent discoveries?" Zarek's response was calculated. "The ancient structure holds knowledge that could be of great value to many factions, including mine. However, I assure you that our interest is not solely for conquest. There are greater threats in the galaxy, and understanding the past may help us address those challenges." The conversation revealed little about Zarek's true motives, but indicated that there were other forces at play. The mention of galaxy-wide threats hinted at a larger, more complex situation. As the meeting concluded, Zarek left with a cryptic warning. "Be cautious, for Deadworld's secrets are not meant for everyone. What you've uncovered could shift the balance of power." The crew returned to their base with a renewed sense of urgency. They needed to decipher the data from the ancient structure and understand its implications before any external forces could exploit it. Lina, Tums, and Reel worked around the clock, piecing together the fragments of information. The ancient data revealed advanced technologies and insights into the civilization's downfall. It became clear that Deadworld had once been a thriving world, its demise linked to catastrophic events and the loss of vital knowledge. As they worked, the seismic activity that had been a background concern began to escalate. The ground shook more frequently, and the energy readings grew erratic. The growing instability posed a new threat to both the base and the newly discovered structure. Captain Harrow called for a strategic meeting with the denizens. "We need to prepare for possible evacuations and reinforce our base's defenses. The increased seismic activity could compromise our safety, and we must be ready for any eventuality." The denizens, who had become an integral part of the team, offered their assistance. They used their knowledge of the planet's underground networks to identify safer locations and secure the base's infrastructure. The situation on Deadworld was becoming increasingly precarious. The combined challenges of external threats and internal instability were pushing the humans and denizens to their limits. Yet, the bond forged through their shared experiences remained strong. As they faced the unknown, the crew and their denizen allies stood united. Their collaborative efforts were a testament to their resilience and determination. With every challenge, they grew closer, and their resolve to protect their newfound homes strengthened. The story of Deadworld was evolving, marked by discoveries, conflicts, and the relentless pursuit of understanding. As they prepared for the next phase of their journey, the inhabitants of Deadworld were poised to face the unfolding drama with courage and unity. The eruption and the new alliance. The increasing seismic activity on Deadworld had turned the once silent planet into a tumultuous landscape. As the ground trembled and the sky darkened with clouds of dust, both the human and denizen teams knew they were facing their greatest challenge yet. The mysterious signals from Zarek's faction, combined with the planet's instability, created a sense of urgency that heightened the stakes for everyone involved. Captain Harrow and his team were working feverishly to reinforce the base's defenses and prepare for evacuation if necessary. The denizens, with their deep knowledge of Deadworld's underground networks, had been invaluable in identifying safe areas and fortifying the base's infrastructure. The seismic activity reached a critical point one evening when the ground beneath the base shook violently. The base alarms blared as the crew scrambled to secure vital equipment and ensure the safety of their team. The once stable structures now seemed precarious, their foundations rattled by the relentless tremors. "We need to get to the safe zones immediately," Captain Harrow ordered, his voice resolute despite the chaos. The crew, along with the denizens, moved quickly, following the evacuation protocols established in their contingency plans. In the midst of the confusion, Lena and Toms managed to retrieve the crucial data from the ancient structure. They knew that the information contained within could be pivotal for both their survival and their understanding of Deadworld's past. The denizens, especially Real, worked alongside them to ensure that the data was safely transported to the new temporary base they had established in the underground caverns. As the sun set, casting an eerie orange glow over the desolate landscape, the eruption finally began. The ground split open, releasing streams of molten rock and ash that soared into the sky. The eruption was a spectacle of raw, uncontrollable power, but it also signaled the beginning of a new chapter for Deadworld. With the new base secured and the critical data in hand, Lena, Toms, and the rest of the team took a moment to assess their situation. The denizens, who had watched the eruption with a mixture of fear and awe, gathered around them. "This is a moment of both peril and opportunity," Real said, his voice steady despite the surrounding chaos. "We faced the eruption together, and it has shown us that our survival depends on our unity and cooperation." Captain Harrow nodded in agreement. "The eruption may have forced us to adapt and move quickly, but it has also strengthened our resolve. The collaboration between our species has proven invaluable. Now, we need to focus on the future and what we can achieve together." As the dust began to settle and the eruption's immediate threat receded, the crew and denizens regrouped. The new base, though rudimentary, provided a safe haven from the ongoing volcanic activity. It was here that they would continue their work, analyze the ancient data, and forge their plans for the future. The data from the ancient structure revealed critical information about Deadworld's history and its advanced technology. Lena and Toms worked diligently to interpret the data, uncovering insights into the civilization that once thrived on the planet. The knowledge they gained provided a deeper understanding of the planet's current state and potential paths forward. The denizens, who had been integral to the survival efforts, expressed their gratitude and solidarity. Their willingness to share their knowledge and adapt to the new realities of Deadworld was a testament to their resilience. The alliance between humans and denizens grew stronger as they worked side by side, building a new future for their world. In the days that followed, the combined efforts of humans and denizens led to the development of new technologies and strategies. Toms and Reel collaborated on improving the solar collectors, integrating advanced features to harness the planet's energy more efficiently. Lena, working with the denizen agriculturists, introduced hydroponics and other techniques to enhance food production in the harsh environment. The eruption had tested their resolve, but it also revealed the strength of their partnership. The challenges they faced had forged a bond that went beyond mere cooperation. It was a true alliance built on mutual respect and shared goals. As the planet's landscape began to stabilize, the focus shifted to exploring the remnants of the ancient civilization further. The data uncovered promised new discoveries and potential advancements, and the team was eager to delve into the mysteries of Deadworld. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to shine, Captain Harrow gathered the crew and denizens for a reflection on their journey. The base, now a symbol of their collective efforts, stood resilient amidst the transformed landscape. "What we've accomplished together is remarkable," Harrow said, his voice filled with pride. "We faced natural disasters, deciphered ancient secrets, and built a foundation for a new future. The alliance we formed is a testament to the strength of our shared humanity and the denizen spirit." The crew and denizens raised their glasses in a toast, celebrating their achievements and the promise of what lay ahead. The journey had been arduous, but it had also been transformative. They had uncovered the true potential of Deadworld and the boundless possibilities that awaited them. The story of Deadworld was far from over. As they continued their exploration and collaboration, the inhabitants of the planet stood on the brink of a new era, defined by their resilience, ingenuity, and the unbreakable bond they had forged. As the night sky stretched above them, filled with stars and the promise of new discoveries, the future of Deadworld looked brighter than ever. The partnership between humans and denizens had set the stage for a new chapter, one of exploration, innovation, and mutual respect. And so, with the echoes of their triumphs and the challenges yet to come, the journey on Deadworld continued, a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of discovery.